Hello there. Wigan Holt in West Sussex was the country's hotspot on Sunday, with temperatures hitting 30 degrees Celsius, making it the hottest day of September so far. Not that we're very far into the month, of course. There was plenty of sunshine for East Anglia and South East England, but rather cloudy skies for some.
As September gets underway, and Matt has the weather as lots of people heading back to school. How's it looking, Matt? Morning.
Good morning, both. Morning, Sam. Morning, John. Morning to you as well. It's looking a bit murky out there this morning, although I have found one of the brighter spots to get your Monday morning underway here in Essex. And blue skies overhead, but some mist now forming in the fields around. For most, though, it's quite a grey and misty start to Monday. And whilst there'll be some rain around for one or two, there will be some rumbles of thunder as well.
Very wet in a lot of places, but it's also pretty humid, isn't it? Morning, Matt.
It is indeed, John. Very good morning to you as well. A very humid day yesterday, in fact. Don't forget, 1st of September yesterday, the official start to autumn as far as meteorology is concerned. And we saw the temperature hit 30 degrees at Wigan Holt in West Sussex. That makes it 4 out of the last 5 Septembers where we've seen temperatures get above 30 Celsius at some point. Last year, pretty exceptional. We saw 7 consecutive days of somewhere in the UK getting above 30 degrees. But just to put all that into perspective and how our climate has changed, if we go back to last century, so 1900 to 1999, only 11 in the entire century, so roughly 1 every 10 years. How things have changed and how expectations of Septembers have changed too. Now, will we see 30 degrees for the rest of this week? Well, no. Probably not, because things are on the change through today. We're going to start to see things turn a little fresher in the west. But
you don't have to wait any longer for Matt with the weather, though. That's the good news. Morning.
I don't know if it is the good news or not. Very good morning to you both. Morning as well. This is a typical scene out there this morning. It is pretty murky for the vast majority of the UK. This is captured by our Weather Watcher radio shed in Barnsley in the last half hour or so. Some fog around as well.
Let's be very polite now. As we say here, good morning. Here's Matt with the weather.
Depends what the weather's like.
Yeah, exactly. It looks quite nice.
It's all right this week. Not brilliant, but not too bad at all. Very good morning to you. The weekend was a bit mixed, wasn't it? But we did see humidity levels pick up and some heat towards the southeast, 30 degrees on Sunday afternoon. All because we had low pressure based to the southwest of us. We had the winds off the near continent lifting those humidity levels. That low pressure is now pushing its way northwards and eastwards, replaced by high pressure and a shift in wind direction over the next few days. Instead, coming off the Atlantic, which means things will be a good deal fresher. And by Wednesday, we're looking at temperatures closer to where we should be for this stage in the year, around 16 to 21 Celsius. So good morning, both. Good morning as well. It's still quite humid out there this morning for many of you, but it's quite misty and murky. This Weather Watcher shot from a short while ago in Wakefield by our weatherwatchersuk just shows those grey and murky conditions that many are experiencing.
Very musical morning. We've even had Matt quoting song lyrics. Morning, Matt.
Good morning. I've never even met them, but they blamed me. It's rude, isn't it? Blame the weatherman, eh? We all do. And you could probably blame me this morning because it doesn't look fantastic out there. Very good morning too. This is the scene in Croyd, Devon. Fairly typical picture with grey skies, misty and murky across most of the UK. It's really only parts of East Anglia and Lincolnshire that has the sunshine peeking out at the moment.
Yes, thank you, Anna. We are now into September as far as weather forecasters are concerned. That means we are now into the autumn, so we can look back at the summer. We are still awaiting the full statistics from the Met Office. They're due any time, really, but provisionally, it looks like it was a cooler than average summer with rainfall around average, but with big regional variations. Let me show you this chart. The browns on this chart show places that were drier than normal, but it was a really wet summer across the western side of Scotland. There's more rain to start the autumn
Good afternoon. It is still feeling very warm and quite humid today, just not as hot as yesterday. There's not quite so much sunshine. You can see quite a lot of cloud first thing this morning down in the city, some mist and some murk as well. With this humidity comes the moisture in the air. And this afternoon there is a possibility of a few isolated showers. The temperature though still feeling warm.
Good afternoon. Lots of misty, murky, gloomy scenes out there across the UK today. This came from Weather Watcher in Pembroke Dock in the southwest of Wales. And what we have today really is a transition day. A transition from the really warm and humid air that brought some of us temperatures up to 30 degrees yesterday to something cooler and fresher that is working its way into the picture for the middle parts of the week. But with this transition, not only have we got some mist and murk, we've also got some really heavy downpours of rain, which we can see on the recent radar picture. This wet weather pushing its way northwards and eastwards, some heavy and persistent rain. And
Good evening. We are, of course, now very much in meteorological autumn, and the weather certainly tells that story. Through the course of this week, it's set to remain rather changeable. Showers or longer spells of rain in the forecast, but where the sunshine comes through, it will be quite warm and, dare I say, quite humid at times.
Hi there, Rita. Well, certainly this week is the first week that all the schools now go back to start the new academic year after the summer break. So for some of you, it might actually be the time of year that you start to think about sunnier climes, but it might be too hot, certainly for me, across the Mediterranean at the moment. These are the temperatures we are likely to see through the middle part of the week into the mid-30s, that's the mid-90s. Cooler and fresher further north and west, and something else to bear in mind, where these two areas meet, we could see some sharp thundery downpours as well. Back closer to home, yes, it's been quite humid, but it's also been quite misty and murky for some. This was Devon earlier on today, felt more like autumn really, didn't it, than summer now. And we've seen some rain, some of it quite heavy and persistent throughout Scotland as well today.
And after a rather sunny start to September, I'm not sure what's happened.
I know, and of course in climate terms we're in autumn now, and yesterday the weather didn't get that memo, and today it feels like maybe it's starting to get that memo. It's going to be much more unsettled in the next few days. Today has been an odd sort of day because it felt so muggy and humid after seeing temperatures near 30 Celsius yesterday and a warm start this morning, and then it's been cloudy and claggy through much of the day today. Our weather watchers could not find any brightness for any photos they sent in. It was all a story of cloud, and of course we've had a bit of showery activity as well.
hello, it's been a rather cloudy, misty, murky day for many of us, and we have seen some outbreaks of rain. With that transition taking place, we have seen some outbreaks of rain and a lot of mist and murk. That was how it looked for a weather watcher in the Highlands.
And join me for a look back at the coolest summer since 2015 and a look forward at this week's weather forecast. That's coming later in the programme.
Alex is here. Not such happy news, more thunderstorms.
I know, thunderstorms, perhaps something a touch more autumnal. I don't know if you've noticed, Mary, but the leaves are already beginning to change on those trees. But before we take a look forward, let's take a quick look back at the summer roundup. And you won't be surprised to hear that it was actually the coolest summer since 2015. The UK average was 0.22 degrees cooler than what it should have been. Average amounts of rainfall across the board, but when you narrow it down into, say, Scotland, well, in August, they actually saw double the amount of rainfall. And in terms of sunshine hours, it was just below normal. And as we say, it is going to be staying quite changeable as we head through the next few days. Well, let's take a look at what we've been dealing with at the moment, and that has been this thunderstorm warning, which has been in place all day today, and it stays in place until midnight tonight. We could well see some localised impact developing, particularly across some parts of the Midlands. So there we have it, a fairly changeable week, particularly really from Wednesday onwards. Some outbreaks of rain certainly on the cards, and temperatures hovering around average, but as I say, a little bit changeable and perhaps feeling a lot more like autumn.
And we haven't really had summer, have we?
Well,
some might say. All right, Alex, thank you.